My name is Rachel, and my life is different now because I'm a Christian. To me, being a Christian means being completely and solely dependent on the Lord, that you know that you cannot do anything in your own strength, but through Him you can do all things, and that you trust that He died for you, and that He saved you, and that through Him you get to advance His kingdom. The most important aspect of what Jesus did was He surrendered. It's through that we get to model what He did, because He surrendered when He was on the cross, when He was being tortured. He never said a word, and He never defended Himself. And then when He rose again, even when He rose again, He was still surrendering, because He sits right next to the Lord in heaven, and He's interceding for us on our behalf, and He's still surrendering who He was, and He's standing up for His bride. And so even in that, it's still surrender. And so in what He did for us, in that aspect, it's the greatest model of what we're supposed to do as Christians. I was saved when I was 4. I don't really remember a lot of it, but I know that with my 4-year-old mind, with what I could comprehend and understand, I knew that I wanted Jesus in my life and I wanted to live for Him. But it wasn't until 2008, so just a couple of years ago, that I decided to surrender. I grew up in church. I enjoyed going to church, and learning about the Lord, learning about the Word, but I didn't take that faith upon myself until August 2008, and that's when I decided, when I was in high school, that I wanted that faith for myself. And so from that point on, I did really live for the Lord and surrender my life to Him the best that I could, and was constantly trying to listen to Him and learn more and better myself for Him. But I just graduated from college, and the last 3 years when I've been in college, it's been really hard to stay focused on the Lord. Not that I've fallen away and I've done a lot of bad things, but I've been lukewarm, and so really that's just as bad as doing wrong things, because I'm not doing what the Lord has called me to do, and that is to advance His kingdom. And so because I just graduated and I want to spend the rest of my life advancing His kingdom before the kingdom of Rachel, then I'm wanting to be baptized to remind myself, and also as an outward sign to others, because that's accountability, that I'm supposed to live that way. So what I want you all to learn from my testimony is, don't ever use your circumstances and your situations as an excuse to not advance His kingdom. Your life might be complicated and you might have a lot going on, but it's never an excuse. In the Bible, there's testimony after testimony of times when people have been going through hard things, and yet they still advance His kingdom. And so that's what it's all about. And God never promised our life would be easy, but we're still called to surrender, just like Christ did on the cross. And so furthering His kingdom is the most fulfilling thing you can do. And it's when you're doing something, when you're doing something for Him, when you're in a dark spot, it's even more beautiful. When you go to a jewelry store and you're looking at diamonds, what they do with the diamonds is they put them up against a black felt, because it makes the diamonds shine brighter. So use that as an example to know what to do when you are in a hard spot and you're in a difficult situation and you feel like there's no way out. That's when you're supposed to turn in praise and exalt Him and go tell someone else about Him, because there's so much beauty in that.